Hello Year 7 and welcome to today's lesson. First task is to complete the retrieval quiz displayed on the board. In your books, write today's date and the title Retrieval Quiz. Question 1. What is a thought track? Question 2. What is the difference between a step out and a thought track? And question 3. Where should the performers face? Pause the video here and allow 2 minutes for students to complete this quiz. And here are the answers. Number 1. A thought track is where a character unfreezes to speak to the audience explaining what they are thinking. Number 2. A step out is where the actor decides when they will reveal their thoughts, and a thought track is led by the teacher or director. And number 3. The audience. Please make sure you have the correct answers in your books. Outcomes. What? Explore the technique of narration with a still image and role play. Why? To gain an understanding of how narration helps build dramatic tension, informs the audience, and sets the mood of the piece. Narration. Narration is a theatrical device which is used to set the scene, create the mood for a piece of drama, as well as helping to build dramatic tension and informing the audience about what is going to happen. You will now see a demonstration of how good narration can be used.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Film narration is a tool, and like every filmmaking tool and technique, it can elevate a great movie and it can make a bad one worse.
And I'm talking about the dude here.
Narration comes in various forms and used in different ways to convey a range of tones and emotions. It can come directly from the character we're watching and be used to empathize with them, giving us insight in a further effort to help us understand their motivations.
Except the Gideon Bible, which I of course read religiously.
It can appear as an interior monologue, as if we could eavesdrop on a person's inner thinking process, or addressing the viewer directly.
I don't know about you, but I take comfort in that. It's good knowing he's out there.
On the other hand, narration can come from a seemingly more distant source, setting up the story from an outsider's point of view, like an expert with very deep knowledge of the matter at hand would.
One ring to rule them all.
One of the best and rather unusual narrations can be experienced in Shane Black's hugely underrated Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
That's me there. My name's Harry Lockhart, I'll be your narrator.
The movie itself is a neo-noir, but because it was not made in the genre's 1940s heyday, and because it doesn't settle for simply echoing the old classics, it attempts to unsettle the genre's preconceptions. So the red dress worn by the femme fatale becomes a Miss Claus costume. The complex plot turns into a twisted satire closer to reality, and Harry's narration, performed by Robert Downey Jr., is utterly inept, consistently messing up.
I don't see another goddamn narrator, so pipe down.
Harry's narration is also one of the most noteworthy elements of that movie. It's not only used to reference film noir and one of its main storytelling devices, but also reshapes the unreliable narrator, seen in some other contemporary noirs like Memento and The Usual Suspects, where we wrongly come to trust the narrator. Whilst a narrator is expected to tell a story like it is them that are writing it, Downey's voiceover provides a self-referential aspect to the film. Harry is aware of his role as the narrator, and so we get some incredible moments, where by omitting information he breaks the film's momentum.
Oh shit, I skipped something. Damn it, this whole robot bit. I made a big deal and then I totally forgot. Fuck, this is bad narrating.
Or when he criticizes the film's inclusion of a terrible, in his opinion, scene solely for exposition's sake.
Okay. Okay, I apologize. That is a terrible scene. It's like, why was that in the movie? Gee, you think maybe it'll come back later? Maybe? I hate that. A TV's on talking about the new power plant. Wonder where the climax will happen. Or that shot of the cook in Hunt for Red October. So anyway, sorry.
Or acknowledging one of those dumb movie things that happen.
Yeah, boo hiss. I know. Look, I hate it too. In movies where the studio gets all paranoid about a downer ending, so like the guy shows up, he's magically alive on crutches. I hate that. I mean, shit, why not bring them all back?
His self-conscious narrating allows the space for commenting on the actual cinematic medium, pointing out the use of common tropes and getting over narrative obstacles without much hassle.
I sent her home believing A, we'd meet tomorrow to go over her case, and B, I wasn't actually gay. Do not ask me how I did B.
Shane Black tries to incorporate his own voice in the movie, and through Harry, he achieves a peculiar narration which escapes its usual form and takes a more meta-referential one, providing a very different storytelling device and perhaps giving us an insight in his mind as the screenwriter.
Narration and still image. Narration can be used with a still image to help inform an audience of what is happening when it isn't entirely obvious, or just helps the audience members understand a little bit more. For example, day in and day out, Tommy is tormented by a gang of youths who enjoy calling him names, taking his belongings, pushing him, shoving him, and generally making his life miserable. The narration must set the tone of the piece by using the voice as well as speaking loudly and clearly. Listen to the example. How do you think I want you to feel about Tommy and the bullies? Day in and day out, Tommy is tormented by a gang of youths who enjoy calling him names, taking his belongings, pushing him, shoving him, and generally making his life miserable. Now explain to the teacher how you think I want the audience to feel about Tommy and the bullies. Task. Create a still image where you show someone being picked on. At the beginning of your still image, tell the audience about what is happening, who the people are, where the scene is taking place, and how one or more of the characters is feeling. Pause the video here to allow for rehearsal. Now, developing the story. Task. Create a series of still images, at least 3, with narration to show the different stages of the story. For example, Tommy waking up and being told to get ready for school. The bullies waking up and feeling excited about the day ahead. Tommy walking to school and being hassled by the bullies. Tommy hiding in the toilets at break time. And Tommy being discovered by the bullies. And finally, a teacher stopping the bullies. Here are some examples of some of the still images you could include in your performance piece. Pause the video here to allow for rehearsal. Performance and evaluation. Using the thought stems to help you provide feedback on the performances, think about what went well and what could be improved. Here are the thought stems. I thought the narrator used something effectively to show. An area for development would be something because something. Here you are talking about the vocal skills, so tone, projection, clarity, as well as the physical skills displayed in a still image. Pause the video here for performance and evaluation.